Please welcome Travis Thompson.
Thank you everybody for coming out. I appreciate you taking the time. I know everybody's busy and this can get kind of long, so I'll try to keep it short. I do have a lot of hope for the future. I hear a lot of the things that are being said. So I'm Travis Thompson. I'm running for seat 1A, and it is Representative Scott's old seat. So she's in District 2 now, which is as conservative or more conservative than this district because it has less big population centers. So we'll be able to see her continue to do what she does down in the state capitol. So the first time, well, I've been involved since about 2012 when Ron Paul ran, and I started getting involved and I've learned that I could make a difference. And then when Representative Scott was elected and also Sage, I volunteered a lot of time to help down there. I don't know how many of you guys, I know everybody here is a big Second Amendment supporter. So that was one of the things that I was able to help with down in the 2015 legislative session was to get the constitutional carry passed. I just worked as a volunteer, and through that effort and the effort of a lot of people, which please understand, a lot of people get involved in these things to get things moved in the direction they go. So I was able to be a part of that, and it was passed in 2015. So what kind of brings a smile is the hope that I have for the future. We live in very interesting times. I put together some campaign literature, and on there I put 16 different things down. And I've got that sitting back here on the table. And I hear a lot of those things as we come through the night. There's the separation of powers, like Janice was talking about. So I was a small business owner. Interestingly enough, if you go look and see the restrictions that were placed on small business owners, they kind of tie to the licensing. So it's really interesting the way that they used the level of control tied through licensure. That was a big deal. I remember that whole thing because I also had a restaurant and a bar grill. And it's really difficult when everything seems to be turned against you. I mean, we think about why COVID is more dangerous in a restaurant or a bar than it is in Home Depot or Walmart. And what it comes down to is those people have lobbyists. And the representatives are supposed to represent the people, but the lobbyists are out there pushing those things. So why is a small hardware store different than Home Depot? It doesn't make a sense. Why can't we have a restaurant and a bar open, but you can have other places? So that's one of the things I've worked on. Being down in the legislature, volunteering my time for lots of different causes, lots of different community things. This is basic. This is a job interview, and I wanted to serve for a long time. And so I wanted to prove that I can serve. And so I donated and volunteered a tremendous amount of time. I was able to help. One of the things, I know we've got a lot of sportsmen here, and so one of the things that I was able to do is throw in and help the Foundation for Wildlife Management. And over the course of quite a few years, we went from the worst wolf regulations in the country to the best in the world. So I'm really happy to be able to help out with that. And again, I was one of the people. There's a lot of people involved in that process, but it's about coming up with a plan, getting the support for it, and then moving it forward. And like Art was saying, with the Attorney General's office, well, I know that firsthand. We have to take the information that we want and backfeed it into the Attorney General's office and look for counsel outside of that. Is that the way it's supposed to work? Absolutely not. But that's what we have. The school choice, that's so fundamental. That's on my brochure. The separation of powers, that's where we have this problem, where we don't have the balance that we need. It looks like I could go on for a long time. But if you please just take a look at the literature I put out, those principles are real. And they're, it's not like you can just have one or two or three things. There's a tremendous number of things that's needed. There's hundreds of bills coming through all the time. We've got to take those principles and apply them to at every opportunity we get. Again, Travis Thompson for C1A.